Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the Web3 stage. My name is Emilia Campos. I'm a lawyer and founding partner of Malgueiro Campos Zardo Advocacia, em São Paulo. Sejam bem-vindos hoje ao palco de Web3. Well, last year, this stage was called Crypto Stage. And this year, they changed the name for Web3 Stage. And this change makes me reflect about the meaning behind the name and the expression Web3. What is the concept behind Web3 expression? The main concept is decentralization. And I am very interested about this concept of decentralization. And I've been working in the Web3 environment since 2016. And when I began to study about decentralization, I realized that since the beginning of the world, 15,000 years ago, the society was decentralized. The organization of the society was based in decentralization. Even the currency was decentralized. Each group has its own currency, but the groups were small, 70 to 8 people each group. And because of this, it was easy to organize the society in a decentralized model. However, 10,000 years ago, something happened that changed everything. And what was the event that changed everything? Agriculture. Agriculture was an event that changed everything because increased the complexity of the relationships. Because reach more people than the little groups. The complexity of the relationships, the complexity of the operations, the transactions, the necessity of a specific currency for every people. The agriculture makes impossible at that moment has a decentralized society. And because of this, the organization of the society started decentralized organization. The first thing that happened, it was the creation of central authorities. The strongest man of each group said, well, everything here is a big mess, and I will organize it. I will be the boss. And with big responsibilities came big authority, and with big authority came big problems and big deviation of this authority. And after this, the humanity starts to deal always with the abuses of the authorities. Other thing that happened was, well, I am the boss, I will create, issue and control the currency. But 500 years ago, the human being created the first technology in order to revert for that decentralized model. The first technology to reach thousands of people. What technology was that? The printer press, a mídia impressa. The printer press was the first technology created by human being to reach thousands of people in order to have freedom of expression and freedom of speech. And this was so important because freedom of speech and freedom of expression is a way to reach thousands of people. And after this, other technologies was created by human beings in order to revert for that moment of decentralization. There's a study made by a British guy that I don't remember the name that was called Dunbar's number. And what means this technology? Dunbar's number, it's a study that say the maximum number of people that it's possible to keep sustainable relationships is 150 people. Maior número de pessoas que é possível manter relacionamentos sustentáveis. 150 pessoas. Then, it's almost impossible to keep sustainable relationship in groups with more than 150 persons. But with technology, we can reach this concept of a decentralized society with thousands of people. Technology is the tool to forget about the Dunbar number and to reach a decentralized model with thousands of people in the modern civilization. And these technologies are called Web3. And there's a guy that I'm studying. He's from Switzerland, the Crypto Valley in Zug, Johan Govers. He has a study, he created a theory called 4 Pillars for a Decentralized Society. And the first pillar is a decentralized communication. For a decentralized communication, we need 2 important technologies: internet and cryptography. Internet to reach thousands of people, and cryptography because privacy is fundamental in a digital community, in a digital area. Privacy is fundamental, it's necessary, it's important in a digital society. And we all have this technology. Second pillar, decentralized law. And decentralized law doesn't mean absence of law. Decentralized law means right of choose which law will regulate the situation. Right of choose the law that will enforce some situation. This is decentralization of law. Right of choose. Third pillar, decentralized production. When all means of production is in the hands of the pharaoh of the Egypt, what we will have? 400 years of slavery. We need to have decentralized means of production. And which technologies we have that make this possible? 3D printer. With a 3D printer, it's possible to produce products, objects. It's a way to achieve this decentralized production. And more than this, we needed to produce our own energy. And we already have technologies for these too. solar panels, for example. And the fourth pillar for a decentralized society is decentralized finance. And what technologies we have for decentralized finance? Cryptocurrencies and smart contracts. Well, all those technologies we already have, we already created, and they are called Web3. It means that it's absolutely possible. Leave behind the concept that it's impossible to achieve a decentralized society. Now we have technology to do this. If the future is decentralized, well, this stage is the Web3 stage. Then, welcome to the future. I would like to invite you today to enjoy the discussions that will be here about all those projects that are being created to make possible a decentralized society. And which more decentralized a society is, more freedom we will have. Because of this, I would like to invite you to enjoy this day in this Web3 stage. First up, please welcome to the stage the Chief Innovation Officer at OKX, Jason Lau.